Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and in this video, I'm going to be talking all about making the first move. You can say what you want, but making the first move is sexy. It shows that you have confidence, which I've said so many times on my channel that women just simply love. And while it might be more common nowadays for women to make the first move, which I think is great, I'm sure all of you guys love it. So putting yourself in her shoes, think about when a girl makes the first move on you and how attractive that is. It's the same way for women. So even though more women are inclined to do this nowadays, and I think it's a lot more normal, it's still sexy when a guy does it. This just shows us that you're interested in us, which, come on, we all love. Making the first move can be showing interest, asking her out for the first time, initiating some physical contact. There are so many things that fall under the category of making the first move. So today I'm going to kind of go over some different scenarios where I think that making the first move would be a good idea for you guys, and then also some examples and successful ways on how to do it. Before I start, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel for when I release new content. It helps me out, which in return helps you out, and I do appreciate it. So number one, we have send the first message. This could be on Instagram, this could be on a dating app, this could be on any kind of social media that there is. You want to reach out and show interest. If you're into a girl, simply send her a message. The worst thing that she can say is no. And I know that no and rejection are these big monsters that seem really intimidating, but at the end of the day, being rejected and being told no does not define you, and it's probably her loss anyway. You'll also never know what could possibly happen or turn out unless you send that first message and you take that first step. So it's just like applying to a job interview or any kind of thing that makes you a little bit nervous. It's probably good for you. So it's good to put yourself out there, and I know it's scary, but sending that first message and initiating a relationship between the two of you is really attractive and really important. So in the last video I did about sending a girl a message on a dating app, I went over some good first messages to send. And while it was more specifically about dating apps, I think it could really work on anything. So if you need some ideas for first messages, you can always go there, but really quickly, it's good to say more than hey, craft a response for her, make it seem personal. If you're really interested in getting to know the girl, you want to show that. You of course don't want to seem creepy or obsessive or clingy or needy, but it's all about finding a good balance, and just sending one message is not going to come across that way. It's also good to use her profile as a way to find some commonalities between the two of you, ask her a question to get to know her, and lastly, be direct. The best thing you can do is get her off of the social media or app as soon as possible and get her number so that you can plan that date with her. So another scenario where it's great to make the first move is asking her out. So maybe you got her number, maybe you messaged her like I told you to, and the conversation is going really well, and you realize, I want to get to know this girl. I would love to go out with her. Set up a date with her. Ask her to go out with you. Ask her if she would like to continue the conversation over coffee. Ask her if you can take her out to lunch, something where you're going to be able to meet up with her in person. I know, again, things can be a little bit tricky here because of COVID, so I've even seen people setting up FaceTime dates and cute things like that. So I think nowadays that's totally normal. While it might have seemed weird 2 years ago, now it's completely normal. So don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask her out on a date. It's very flattering when a guy asks you out on a date, and typically I feel like girls are not the ones to make the first move in this regard. So a girl might approach you in public if she's really bold, but when it comes to asking on a date, I feel like girls are less likely to do this. So you can miss out on a great girl simply because you just were too scared to ask. So don't be afraid to ask her on a date if things are going well. Like I said, the worst thing that she can say is no, and you will survive, I promise. So another tip here is to pick the place and plan the date. I'm not saying that you need to do this every time, but for a first date, it is really nice to have the guy plan it for you. You don't need to do anything elaborate. You could literally just pick a coffee shop to meet up at and a time to meet up, or ask her what works for her. But it's nice when the guy thinks of it and plans it. And like I said, I don't think that you should have to do this for every single date. I think it's just as important for girls to put in the work and effort too. You don't want to be with a girl that is up on a pedestal and thinks she's a princess and you have to do everything in your life to make her happy. That's miserable. I'm gonna tell you right now. miserable. So I'm not saying do this for every date, but for the first date, I think it is important. Number 3, we have going for the hug or kiss. So this can be really tricky, and honestly, you have to be pretty socially aware and really pay attention to body language and different signs that she's giving you to know if it's something that you should just go for. A hug is a little bit easier because this is not so intimate. I think when you show up to a date, it's normal to give a hug. I don't know kind of how things are going now because of COVID. Like I said, are we doing like an air 5, a wave? Like, I don't know what we're doing, but when I was dating, it was really normal to just give a hug on a first date. Like, hi, it's so good to meet you, and then give them a hug. I think that's normal. Unless she's like, don't hug me, I think you can go for a hug. So a kiss is a little bit more tricky, and the best advice I can give on like a first date is to wait until the end of the date. Maybe when you're saying bye. If the date went really well, I think it's normal to end the date with a kiss. I think that is completely normal. If the date did not go well, you don't want to give her a kiss. Why would you want to kiss someone that the date went horrible with? So like I said, you have to be socially aware in these kind of scenarios and really gauge how the date went. If there's kind of a chemistry between the two of you, you want to make sure you pay attention to body language and the different signs that she could be giving you. So maybe at the end of the date, you're saying bye, you give her a hug, and after you give her a hug, you kind of look at her again and you say, I had a really great time, when can I see you again? And then she answers you, and then you're looking at each other and you go in for the kiss. The worst mistake I see guys make, and I will insert a clip here of the cringiest video I've ever seen in my life.
Can I kiss you?
Sure.
Maybe this is not weird to some girls, but it's really weird to me, because if she says no, it's weird. If she says yes, it's weird. You can normally really tell if a girl wants to kiss you by the way that she's looking at you, and if you can't tell, it probably means that she doesn't. Maybe she's just really shy, but pretty often you can tell when you pull away from a hug and look at her if you should go for that kiss or not. Read the signs, read the body language. Normally, if she looks you in the eye, if she gets closer to you, if she's looking at you, if she's staring into your soul, this is a good sign. So the last situation here is kind of more physical contact. Maybe you're going beyond the kiss at this point. Maybe you've gone on a couple dates and she's over at your apartment and you guys are sitting on the couch watching Netflix. You really, again, just like the kiss here, want to determine by body language and signs that she's giving you how you should approach this. I don't want you guys to get in trouble. I don't want you guys to be creepy or force yourself onto someone. You want to make sure that they're feeling the same way as you and you guys are on the same page with this. I think this is really important to pay attention to when you're going for anything further than just maybe a hug or a kiss with a girl. It's important to pay attention to chemistry, body language, and signs that she's giving you. If she sits down on one end of the couch after you've already sat down on the other end of the couch and isn't anywhere remotely near you, it's probably a sign that she isn't feeling it in that department, okay? Maybe she's not ready for that. Maybe she doesn't even want to give you any sign that she is, so she's distancing herself from you. Normally, when a girl is ready for this, she will move closer to you. She will be all up in your space. This is normal, and this is a sign to look for. If she sits down right next to you and automatically cuddles up to you, this is a really good sign. So like I said, if you start to initiate some physical contact and she backs away or seems hesitant, abort mission. Do not pursue it. Let it go and be a gentleman. The best thing you can do is be a gentleman and be respectful, but definitely show her that you're interested, and you will get the signs back from her if she's interested. And if you really can't tell if she's interested or not, she probably is either really shy or she isn't. So there really isn't a lot to read into here. I think if you watch some of my past videos, it's really easy to tell when someone likes you versus when they don't. So be sure to check those out as well. So guys, that is all I have for today. If you found this helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for when I release new content. Like I said, I think it's a lot more common for girls to make the first move nowadays, but it is really attractive when a guy makes the first move too. And like I said, you can miss out on a great girl or miss out on just something in general with someone if you don't go go for it. So the best advice I can give you is to be a gentleman, be respectful, but show that you're interested if you are, and go for it. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I'm really active on there. I post a lot on my stories about relationships, and I do a lot of Q&As and fun things like that. So it's just another good place to connect with me, especially if you have a question. I normally try to answer them in my Q&As. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.